You are now watching part one of the Boston Circle show. It's about to be epic. Make sure you tune in.
Hey guys, so tonight's show is rated M for mature. We'll go over some topics that's so hard to talk about, and we'll talk about and discuss some things that kind of get swept under the rug, but they're much needed.
What's up, y'all? So I'm outside in nature right now. Make sure you tune in tonight. Tonight's conversation is going to be needed. It's going to be hard to have, but a much needed one. We thank you so much for your support. Tune in. It's going to be a great one. We love y'all so much. It was hard having these conversations, but we thank y'all for the challenge. We thank y'all for the love and the support. Make sure y'all watch it. This is part one of a two-part special. We're going to be talking about everything that has to do with social injustice. The things that are going on in the political world. We may get in trouble for it, but it's what we are here for. We are here to have conversations that nobody else wants to have. We love y'all. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
We are here.
Here.
Today, we are talking about something that is important. We're going to have a conversation that a lot of people don't want to have anymore. Um, so, if you have any questions, if you want to leave your opinion down at the bottom in the comments or wherever you may see this, feel free to do so. So today we're going to be talking about the mass social injustice, the racism, the all of the above going on. So, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So, as you all know, I'm Turk Tabloids.
I'm Ashley, straight from Dazzle by Arrow, and together we
the Boston Circle. And today, the Boston Circle will talk about something that a lot of people are scared to talk about.
A lot of people are scared to talk about it, but a lot of people been hitting us up, wanting us to touch on it and give our opinion. Some facts.
Yeah. So let's do it. First of all, where are we as a a nation? Where are we? Where do you feel like we at? Me personally, I feel like we are at a place where this has got to happen. Like I feel like all of this has got to happen because you get to find out who of your friends were just tolerating you. Some who really had love and support the black community, and some who was just like, I got a black card because I got a black friend. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like this has to happen to show you exactly who is supposed to be in your space as far as race. And I'm not trying to say like, black people over here, white people over here, other people, and I'm just trying to say like I feel like it's really showing exactly who is who because I don't feel like it's black against white or Latino against um white or Latino against black or whatever. I feel like it is people against ignorance, people against racism, people against lies and all that other stuff. So where do you feel like we?
I mean, I agree with some of the things that you said. I just honestly feel like we're at a time now to where we all need to educate. We need to educate ourselves. We need to do our research and not be so gullible and to just believe in anything. You need to do the research for yourself. I'm not big on. I'm not big on. I've never been big on basically just listening to anything. I just encourage everybody to get out and do your research, and I also encourage anybody over the age, well, at 18, I encourage everybody to get out and vote.
Please, please, if you don't do that, you don't do nothing else. Do that.
Get out
Matter
and
of
vote.
fact, we had put a voting video up yesterday.
Yes.
Make sure that y'all watch that. We gave you some information, all while being ourselves, being funny, being lighthearted. So go watch that. It'll give you a different thinking on voting.
Yep. And the great words of Dr. Martin Luther King, our lives begin to end the day we became silent about things that matter. So,
Yeah. Speaking of that, I want to talk about the yesterday you was telling me how about you was wearing a mask and the lady was like she got mad.
oh God, the lady was just like, when I went into Bilo, um, and I got what I needed, and I got in line. And the lady was greeting everybody and just doing a great job customer service. But then I came up with a mask that stated Black Lives Matter, and her whole demeanor changed. Like everything about her, like from the way that she, just her whole mannerism changed. Like she was just like, and okay, so she rung up my stuff and she was like, such and such price, and she acted like she didn't want me. Like she wanted me to drop my money in her hand, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I waited just to see how she would treat the guy behind me. And she, good morning, how you doing? I got none of that. All I got was eye roll. And I simply stated, Black Lives Matter. And kept moving.
It's crazy how it feels. I seen a picture the other day, and I think and I want to show this picture as well. But I seen a picture the other day, and it was a picture of a colored picture of the march with Dr. Martin Luther King and all the other big civil rights leaders, and it was so crazy how every sign they were holding up in that picture can be held up today if we had a rally.
Oh, I saw that.
It was so that thing made my heart hurt because it's like every sign that we are seeing in this picture can be held up again today. And it's like, are we really the United States of America? It's divided to me, and I feel like with me, I feel like the way that we have to be on the fence all the time just because of what we look like, that's kind of sad. And I'm scared not only for me, but for the younger generation. For the generation coming up, for my generation, because now it's like my generation is not really too much educating themselves. And it's like, there's a lot of people in other generations that are really not educating themselves. So I feel like those of us who are, we should be educating other people.
Yeah, educate. I definitely agree. I mean, not forcefully educating other people, but educating people. Because all it really takes is just that one person.
It's
And it's one of those like touchy topics. I mean, when it comes down to politics, when it comes down to racism, I mean, it's just one of those touchy topics. Like a lot of times we walk around on eggshells, trying not to offend anybody or make anybody mad. But at the end of the day, when you speak upon certain things, certain colors are gonna show. And what I mean by that, people will show their true colors once you start speaking about certain topics. So that is enough right there to show you, you see things for yourself. You see things for what they truly are. And like I say, just keep trying to educate the ones who, want to learn.
Yeah.
Like, not forcing upon anybody. Like, it's just one of the things, like, when you get into speaking on religion and politics and racism, sometimes you get a lot of backlash for that, but sometimes we are appointed to speak on the ugly truth.
You're right. You're right. What was your first encounter with racism, if you can remember?
I mean, my first encounter wasn't really. My first encounter, I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as the encounter that I would like to speak on. As far as like in the dental office, like work, in the dental field, like racism is, like, it's bad. One of the offices that I was working for, I think the office was up and running for like 20 years, and I was one of the first like African Americans to work here. And they try to treat you like a black person. Like they try to give you work and stuff that other people wouldn't do. Like, okay, we don't have any patients today, you need to go basically do housekeeping work, stuff like that. And I'm like, no. But the fact that what they couldn't take away from me was the knowledge that I obtained. Like, this is not in my job description. You're not asking nobody else, to do this. And they fear, when I say they, you know what I'm speaking of, they fear an educated black person. And it's hard to climb the ladder, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I got discriminated about my hair. Like, my hair was just like, like it is now. Like, ladies love your crown. Love your crown. My hair was like this, and I was told that my hair wasn't considered professional. It's too big. I mean, at that time, my afro was, a little bit bigger than this, a little thick, higher than this. I was told that my hair wasn't considered professional, and I'm like, okay, tell me more. So they went into details, basically telling me that I asked them what was their take on professionalism, and they told me that their take on professionalism, my office manager at the time told me her take on professionalism was long, well, basically like straight pull back into a ponytail. And I'm like, okay, my hair does not grow like that. My hair, like, no, like, I'm not doing that. So, it went up to human resources, and they basically told me that we needed to come to an agreement. So basically, I need to do what they want me to do, like straighten my hair. Like, I can't wear my hair like an afro, big puffy. And that's what. And when she explained it, it's one of those situations where you think about the shoulda, woulda, coulda, like what you should have did. You know what I'm saying? At that time, but I was just so in shock that I was like, going through that. And she basically like, she was like, it's just so, like, the hand gestures, like, it's just so big, and it's just so big, and it's not professional. I come from a military background and all of that, but in the rule book, it stated that your hair couldn't be on your shoulders, like your hair can't be on your shoulder, or can't be in a position to where it will fall in the patient's face when you clean the teeth and stuff like that, which I got that. But, I mean, if you look at this afro, afro is not going in nobody's face. Exactly. Like, it's not on my shoulders. So they kind of tried to, tweak the rules a little bit. Because she didn't like my afro. She did not like the way my hair grew out of my head. And that was hard. Like, that was hard trying to, at the time when you feel like you need that job. Like, to provide for your family. So you gotta do stuff that you just don't want to do. And lack of knowledge, not knowing that what could have came out of that, not really knowing. Oh, you can sue, all kinds of stuff like that. But it was just hard to go to that job every day after that. Like I couldn't even like look her in her face because she like basically telling me because um that's another thing like with dental like you have to it's a certain look that they're looking for, like a certain look. And I mean, it's already hard being the only African American, then, well, one of the only African Americans, then being told that you can't, like, you can't be you. Yeah. You can't be you. I need you to look like everybody else, which everybody else had long, straight hair, pulled back in the ponytail, but my hair don't grow like that. So that was hard. That was so hard. I mean, I worked there like probably like 6 months after that. But every day I hated going to that job. I hated going to that job. Then every time something go on, they're like, oh, and then one time they had the nerve to tell me, well, let's just talk about it because you look angry. I don't want you to go home. I don't want you to go home angry and come back and something happen. I said, so what do you mean by that? She basically was like, I don't want you to go home and like come back and blow up the building. And I'm like, are you serious? And then I told her, I'm like, at some point, you're gonna catch me. You gonna catch me on the wrong day, and I'm exactly what you're looking for.
It's sad, and I see it now more evident in the schoolhouse now because, and they may not think too much of it, but they know. Like now, I know a lot of, I hear a lot of teachers myself saying, what your mama think about it, or is your mama coming to the thing, or mama this, mama that. How you know, my father not in the building? How you know I don't have a male figure who is in my life? Why you can't say parent or parent? You get what I'm saying? Like just small stuff like that as well is what we need to be educated on too.
Yeah, just just you see so many girls now afraid to wear their natural hair because of people like I love my natural hair. I do, but like a lot of times what I cannot stand is of I get a lot of white people that wanna come up and touch my hair. Like, oh my god, how do you get it like that? Can I just feel it? No. You cannot, you cannot touch you cannot touch my hair. You cannot touch my hair. Like, don't do it. But you have not only from white people, but you have a lot of black people too that say, like a lot of times I get people, oh, how do you wear your hair like that? Like how are you that brave to wear your hair like this? Honey, this is how my hair grow on my head. This is my crown.
Wow.
This is my crown. Like literally, yesterday I had somebody say, girl, you so brave and you rocking it. You really rocking that fro. I'm like,
right.
This is definitely the way my hair grow on my head. Like, and then I hate when people say natural is not for everybody. But in reality, I mean,
exactly.
This is the way your hair grows out of your head.
I think that one thing that has got people looking or not wanting to wear their hair is the media, society. They got people thinking that long straight hair, you have to have a face full of makeup, you have to have skin tight clothing. Like they try so hard to make it so society tries so hard to make it to where the look that is popular is their look. Exactly. But our look is nowhere near what we, look like. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm just against everything because I'm not. Because I take part in what society, the clothing and the fashion. I take part in that too. But it's like, to be honest, we kind of like went to the more way of what society wants instead of how can we honor our ancestors? How can we honor the people before us?
We need to normalize being us and being natural again. Like, we just painting this picture. We're painting this picture of something that we're not. We giving materialistic things too much power. If that makes any sense. But that's what made me actually made me go back to wearing my natural hair so that I can show my daughters, like, hey, your natural hair is beautiful. Like, your natural hair is beautiful. And I just had to start leading by example because at the end of the day, I was hurt by it, but I kind of gave them what they wanted when they told me that professionalism is long, straight, pull back in the ponytail. Because I'm always, at some point, I was always putting weave in my hair, and I had, have a head full of hair. So I went natural to show my girls that, hey, you're beautiful just the way you are, the way that you was, created. Because my oldest daughter was getting bullied and picked on about her afro. The fact that her throat was like huge, like way out here. But people, people was teasing her. Wow. And I'm like, hey, no, you're beautiful. So now that I wear my afro 90% of the time, they feel good, feel good about their hair, and they compliment me all the time on my hair, and I get so many compliments. At first, everybody was like, "Ooh, that's why you do that?" But then it turned into now everybody's, "Oh my God, how's it growing like that? Like, what you doing?" Now everybody want to, not everybody, but a good bit of people want to jump on the bandwagon. I'm like, hey, your natural hair is beautiful. That is your crown. Like, this way, you were created. Embrace that. Embrace that.
With hearing you talk, I think I was thinking on my first encounter, and I think my first encounter was I was in third or fourth grade, and going through school, I never had a black teacher. Fourth grade, I had one, and I think that was his name was Mr. Summers.
Oh, Mr. Summers, Martin.
Yeah, and we had like a fill-in teacher one day, and I mean, the fill-in teacher, there was a couple bad people in the class at the time. They were just like, he was like, you gotta get them out of here. So it was another teacher who came, and she was like, she came in there, she was already fired up. She said, so and so. Now, mind you, my name did not come up in the list of people who needed to be gone. She still came in there. She looked at me and she told everybody to put their head down. So I put my head down and I peeked up because you know how you peek up because you want to see the person. I peeked up and she looked at me. She said, "And you come with me too." What I do? She said, "You look like you did something." Huh?
Wow.
How does somebody look like they do something? And so I said, okay. So I went with her, and the whole day it was just like she did not say anything to me. So I sat in there the whole day, and I was like, so what do I do? She was like, she ain't say nothing. So then, somebody had called her and said that I missed all my classes. Where was I at? She was like, oh, he ain't here with me. So basically, she didn't even notify them that I was gone. So I got in trouble for all of those classes as well. So for one, she didn't know what to do. She knew I wasn't wrong, but she didn't know what to do because she knew she was wrong. So then I got a phone call the next day saying that I had to be in this um correction group. I was like, what is a correction group? Nothing but black boys in it. I promise you, nothing but black boys. And I said, wow.
sad.
Wow.
It's sad, but we just have to start educating our kids early. We just a lot of times parents just dread that conversation, but now it's
inevitable. You
have to have that conversation. You have to have that conversation.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a break and we'll be back for part two of this because part two is gonna be a lot of information. Stay in and stay tuned, y'all. Now, wasn't that conversation needed? Wasn't that conversation what you wanted to hear? It may not be in what you wanted to hear, but it's what we needed to hear. And it's what we needed to discuss and talk about. Please try to have conversation with your children, your grandchildren, your grandmamas, your granddaddies, your mamas, daddies, whatever, about this topic, especially in the African American community. We really, really need this. We thank y'all so much. If you would love for us to continue to come to y'all with these topics and these great conversations, please hit us up, inbox us. You can email us at Boston Circle Live. That's BOSSES Circle CIRCLE Live LIVE at gmail.com. You can also inbox us on our Boston Circle page or DM us on our Boston Circle Instagram page. And you can also, if you would like to donate, you can also donate to our business and our brand at Boston Circle Live at gmail.com.